Welcome to the Digital Growth Hack Club, where we help you elevate your business and your bottom line. Here is your host, Jenny Jones.
Hey, this is Jenny Jones. Thank you for joining me here on the show, Digital Growth Hacks. I am super excited. I've been running this guy down for 365 days straight. Okay, so I'm expanding and embellishing a little bit. No, I've been running it down for a couple of weeks. We've been trying to link up. Being a founder of a company, it is tough to catch up with founders, and had some opportunity to catch up with them. This is Mr. Richard Falla of Vbout, right? And Vbout is it's all-in-one CRM system software platform, SaaS-based software platform. I use them. They're one of my hubs that I use. I run a spoken hub type of setup for my different landing pages, things like that. So I wanted him to come on the show, and utilizing his tool has allowed me to expand and grow a lot faster, and because of some of the automations that they do. So I wanted him to come on and says, hey, we have some people that are out there, they're looking for ways to try to grow and scale their business. And I said, why don't you come on and share us some of your secrets and give us a little bit of secret sauce for the Digital Growth Hacks Club. And if we're good, and if you guys comment and like this up, I'm gonna see if I can get him to come back and do something for our VIPs. Once we launch that, he'll come and do something real special for us. So again, this is Mr. Richard Falla of Vbout. Vbout. You guys need to, hey, if you don't know about him, you got to check into him. I'll probably have a link below. You can probably find out a little bit more about him. Go ahead and take it over, Rich.
Jenny, thank you so much for having me. Really excited. Sure. Your community is awesome. And I think the content you put out is really great and detailed. I like your biased approach. You never approached us until you tried the product, you analyzed it, you made videos, you actually personally liked it, and then you reached out versus people reaching out just to kind of create content. So I like your approach in actually vetting and then sharing with the community. So I appreciate that.
No problem. That's what I do. I try to check it out. If I ain't using it, then I don't know. So what you got for us today? What do you got? What's going on? What we got here? What are we going to do?
Yeah, we're gonna be talking about automations specifically. Okay. Now, I know whoever's going to be on this podcast or recording is going to be a little bit more kind of ahead in terms of lead. They understand what lead generation is, which is getting the lead through the door, interested enough to buy from you. They haven't bought, but they're interested enough that they filled out a form. They maybe contacted you via the website. It doesn't matter, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming everybody on this video, watching this video, knows that. And they understand a little bit what is marketing automation. Now, if they don't, it's totally fine. I'm going to try to make this as simple as possible. Okay. But the idea is you take the day-to-day email follow-ups, SMS outreach, autoresponders, and you program them in a way where it's doing the work for you. You don't have to be doing it every day manually. That saves you time, saves you money, and that's ultimately what we're looking for.
Well, I mean, so before you bring up the slide here, did I give you, let me see if I gave you permission to share.
You're going to record, I'm assuming?
Yeah, we're recording now. Yeah, we're recording. Okay, cool. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to give you permission. So, okay, there you go. So I want to give you permission. And as you bring up your screen, looking through my different videos that I have up and looking through what YouTube is telling me, there's a lot of people that want to know more about automation and scaling their business. And the fastest way to scale your business is you can hire somebody to do everything manually for you, like you're already doing, or you can allow your software to do some of the heavy lifting for you. And that's what I got back. So I said, you know what, there's no one better to help me with this with Richard. So that's kind of where this is coming from. So if it works out, they'll take a look at it. If not, that's fine too. I'm just putting this out for what a majority of my audience is looking for.
Yeah, awesome. And I know like I always say, Jenny, at the end of the day, nobody cares about tools. Nobody goes online, they want to buy a tool platform for the sake of spending money. Right. They do it because they have a strategy in mind. They want to implement the strategy. The tools are there to complement the strategy. Yes. And that's really what we set out to build. So if I am to share my screen and kind of break down what the cycle of a lead is and what tools do you need for that. Let me know if you see my screen.
Yes, I can see it.
The screen. There we go. So typically the life cycle of a lead, or the tools you need to generate the leads, nurture the leads, and get them going interested, are broken down as follows. Getting my Picasso tools. So you need landing pages, forms, and pop-ups. That's how you generate the lead.
Okay.
Assuming you've got some traffic coming in. Once you get them into the door, they fill out a form. Now you need to nurture them, send them emails, SMS, web push notifications, phone outreach. It doesn't matter. All that stuff also requires a set of tools. And then finally, for retention purposes and just general enhancement of your flow, you need a whole bunch of tools as well. So Vbout is a platform that provides all of these. We're going to be talking specifically about this phase where somebody came in. Now we're going to automate the sequences to get them more interested. So let me dive right into.
So let me get this correct. So Vbout provides all 12 of these.
Yes. We have a few more as well, but these are just kind of what summarizes the lead generation, lead nurture, and retention. Okay.
Nice. Okay. I just want to make sure people got it.
Cool. Now, let's dive into our process to building automation. I don't want to bore your audience with, go join us on Facebook, and who are always welcome, by the way. The way we build automations is very simple. So let me swap slides. And I'm going to share with you some winning workflows that we know work repeatedly with almost any industry.
Okay.
So the 4 phases of the lead is you capture the lead, you nurture the lead, you close the lead, and you retain them. Did I miss anything, Jenny?
No, that's it, baby. That's it right there.
So for each one of these, I'm going to share a few of the automations that you can build. So let's get started with the capture. When you capture the lead, you don't want to sell them immediately. You want to educate them a bit about who you are, the problem they're having, they're problem aware. That's why they came to you. And the things that you can actually, content that you push out as an expert in the field so they could consume and feel confident that you are the go-to person to buy the solution, the product, etc. So these are 3 automations that every business should have. One of them is a content nurture. That means you're slowly sending them email, maybe once a day or once every 2 days, depending how much content you have, so they could get educated about you. So let me show you how you can build this type of automation in Vbout, which is extremely simple.
And this is after they fill out a form with you, right? Okay. So the form comes in, right?
Capture the lead. Now these automations will kick right after. Okay.
Okay. I'm just trying to help that person out that's out there. They're trying to.
Absolutely. So this is the Vbout interface right here. We made it very streamlined. So I can start from a template, which we've assembled a whole bunch, or we can create one from scratch, which is what I'm about to do.
Okay.
Now, most automations, by the way, it doesn't have to be Vbout, although we'd love to have you. We share very common terminologies. So I can talk about triggers. This is what begins the automation. The automation is not going to start on its own. There has to be some sort of a condition, an action, a behavior that's going to take that person and get them to the process. So in the case that I'm covering now, which is the capture, the trigger of the automation is that they filled out a form or they joined the particular list of your choice. So that's what we call a trigger. Is that clear, Jenny?
Yeah. No, and I'll probably post up above or inside the description of me breaking down just the 2, just to its minute level, just so they understand. So that'll be included here as well, just in case if you need a little bit more information on this. So you're good. You're good.
Perfect. So the join is technically a trigger. All you got to do is understand the word trigger. It begins the automation.
It's like a tripwire.
Exactly.
It's like a tripwire. I told people, hey, if you're breaking into a bank, don't trip that wire, because once you trip it, a whole bunch of other stuff's going to happen.
Exactly.
I don't know.
That's pretty much what it is. It's good
I don't know. The whole breaking in a bank, I don't know where that came from, but
I know, man. So you got a secret job we don't know about. Now we got to program what happens next. That person matched that trigger. They filled out a form. Now you're just going to tell Vbout, I want you to send them the first email right away. And I'm going to simply link it together. Let's wait 2 days And I just randomly chose 2 days, guys. It does not have to be 2 days. It could be 1 day. It could be a week. It really depends on how you want to do your timing. So I can say 2 days later, and I'm going to choose a specific time. Let's say 8 a.m. in the morning. You want to throw them off, just do 8, 7. It looks more natural.
And is that for their time zone? I'm just asking when you do that.
It's for the software providers.
Software providers. Okay.
The person running this automation is time zone. Okay. So 8:07. If you're serving across different time zones, do middle of the day. That will be safe.
Okay. Okay.
Right. Unless you're in Hawaii, then you have no choice.
No one's working in Hawaii, so
that's true. So I can continue building this nurture for as long as I want. I don't have to stop. Choose the cadence. Obviously, you have to program the email copy, but look how simple this is. I just programmed a 3 email onboarding sequence that's getting executed over the course of a certain amount of time. Okay. And I've had people build this for over the course of a month, a year. It gets pretty intense what you can do with this. And we use it heavily in Vbout. So when people sign up, we onboard them on the platform. Okay. So that's the first one, called Content Nurture. Love it. Easy to build. No problem. Now, I only mentioned email. So let's talk about Web Push Nurture. Web Push Nurture, if you don't know what Web Push is, or also known as browser push, they look like a little notifications that are sent to your browser. It doesn't need an email or a phone. It's just a very simple technology that most people think is complex, but it's as easy as a file upload in Vbout. We have lots of information on how you can start a third channel of communication. So you got email, SMS, Web Push. We can build it easily in Vbout, hook it up, and now you're ready to replicate the same nurture I'm showing you here. But instead of doing it via email, you're actually doing it via a Web Push process. The trigger is exactly the same. It's joining the Web Push consent.
So let me ask you this on the Web Push. Now, do people, I honestly, I don't use Web Pushes because I don't like consenting myself. Doesn't mean someone else may not like it. But my question is, are people still into Web Pushes? I'm just wondering.
Yeah, it's huge. Look at the biggest brands. If you go to any big brands, they have Web Push deployed on their site in one form or another. Maybe it's on a specific page on the site, only on the blog page. It could be on the news section. It could be on product updates. But the fact that it costs $0, it's not like email. There's a cap. There's so much compliance. There's so much complications and spam. It's probably delivered to 80% of the browsers, more or less. I have to update myself on this number. And it costs $0. Okay. And it's very simple to build. I mean, the anatomy of it is that, let me see if I can show you an example. You just put in a very basic line, couple of descriptions and a link. It's not like an email you have to design and you have to get approvals and stuff like that.
I may start using this now. So my question is, and what I like what you said, I just learned something because again, I'm learning. I'm a lifelong student. I'm always learning. I just like what you share with me. You said, and here's where I always thought of, when I land on a page, and I'll just be honest with you, when I land on a page, I don't like to see it as soon as I land there. Let me drive around the neighborhood a little bit, right? Let me go to some things. Definitely if I go to a certain portion of your page, or maybe there's a blog, I kind of might want to be there. And if I'm there for a little while and it says, hey, do you want a notification? To me, that sounds the most subtle if I was to use one. Do you guys have that ability?
Yeah, that's a great point. And that's why people don't like it, because it's just like, bam, I just can't, I don't even know who you are yet.
Yeah, I just got here, man. What are we doing here? You're trying to go to third base with me already?
So in Vbout, we let you program the time delay, 15 seconds after the visit. You can even program it to show up on specific pages. So it's not showing up on every page. Right? You're in charge. With Vbout, you even control that design that shows up. So
okay.
And it should be ready to go.
And that's included in Vbout too.
Yeah. No,
What'd you say?
No extra charge.
No additional charge. It's included in. Okay. So a person don't have any excuse. Man, I'm running out of excuses to grow my business.
It takes a little bit of setup. So some people say, what kind of content do I push in? Super simple. If you have an email sequence, condense the email message into a very small browser push message because it only supports about 2-liners, and use the same link. This way you're sending the content via email. That's 20%, assuming an average open rate. And the rest is delivered via web push, which increases click-through rates, okay?
But that's an automatic consent too, right?
They have to consent first. Nobody just gets it randomly. They have to go to your sites and yeah.
No, I'm saying to avoid getting into any consent problems. Once if the browser push and they say, yeah, I consent, then they're basically agreeing to receiving information from you.
They are. And, we're marketers. So maybe we understand this and we kind of feel a little bit like we don't want to get more messages because we already have subscribed to like 1,000 things. But it works charm with the majority of industries. Okay. There's no excuse one not to try it. Hey,
I'm gonna try it. I'm not. You know what it is?
Your audience. You're good.
Oh, the audience. Okay, you're talking about me because I had already told you. But I'm not gonna try it on my landing page. I think I'm gonna try it once they drill in a little bit more. I think I at least to use it. So I'll see. Okay. I'll test it out.
Very simple. So this is I created 2 automations in one. I didn't have to create a completely separate canvas. And I can even get a little bit more sophisticated with Vbout. By doing this, I do a shortcut and now it's even simpler. So I'm delivering messages to, this way. And removing all the other clutter technically. So there we go. We call this branching. So either way, I think it's worth exploring. You have the email and then you have the web push nurture campaign. Make sense?
Nice.
Right here.
You didn't tell me you were going to get advanced. No, I love this because this is how you scale and then how you grow your business. That's what I wanted my viewers to see. This is what it's about. I love this. Logic. And one of the things that I loved about what you guys do is all your triggers are squares and all your actions are circles.
You noticed. Thank you. Thank you. We are enhancing the interface. We just uploaded a few enhancements there. So yeah, cool, man. Glad you noticed that. One more that I think is quite essential is adding a tag to the contact record. Okay? I love tags. Tags, very dynamic. If somebody is a client, I put a tag that they're a client. If someone is VIP, when I say VIP in the terms of, let's say, e-com, spent more than $1,000. If your average order value, let's say, is 40 or 50 bucks, that's a good spend. VIP club, you send them free stuff. So whatever it is you use the tag for, it's almost like a label when you walk into an event and it says investor, startup, an analyst. That's exactly what that is.
I have a confession.
Yeah.
I have a confession on the tags. When I first started learning automation, I never used to use tags because I was so lazy. I was like, no, I just want to get the automation there. That's my confession, right? Until after using automation and figuring out, man, if I would have just tagged these people when they first came in, I would know where they came from. Definitely when it comes to segmenting your audience later on. So people don't make the mistake that I made and thinking that tagging is not important. Tagging is probably one of the most important things about automation. Sorry, I had to add that in there, but I failed miserably. And now I'm trying to figure out, where did this person come from?
Well, look, if you had this one example of using tags, which is a perfect example, you're going to get advanced with automation very quickly, especially if they follow your content. And the key here is maybe an automation is only targeting those who are not clients yet, right? Imagine that person turns into a customer and you're still sending them that pre-customer content. One way to check it is using tags. So someone joins, you can send this to them, but you can add a little condition that says, only send them this content if and only if, I'm adding a condition, the tag is not client, right? Sorry. Is not client. By the way, this dropdown I created personally. You can too. So you apply them for your business. We use a lot of tags in Vbout. Some of them are very simple in terms of industry. Others are like, yeah. But you see how now I created a condition that says only send the sequence to those who are not clients. I can even apply a tag right here. I can remove a tag from the profile. So people use this in such a dynamic way that they add a flag, remove them, so they could deliver content accordingly. Make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Some people add a tag in the beginning of the flow, and then they remove it at the end of the flow as a way to define that they are already in that automation. Do not send them anything else until the tag is not there.
I just learned something new. I always thought, I mean, I always added my tags in the beginning and maybe in the middle. I never thought about removing the tag on the end once they've gone through the sequence. So that's good. I learned something new from you. Thanks, Richard. I didn't think about that. I mean, logically I can do it, but I never thought about the power net. So that's the reason why I wanted you on here to kind of share some of these best practices. Thank you, sir.
Sure. You want me to take it up one notch?
Sure. Let's go.
I can add a handover tag. So now the person became a client. Okay. And again, I'm just choosing client, guys, because it's relevant. So I added a tag at the end. So here's what I did. Maybe I added a tag called nurture, because now this person is in nurture phase. Maybe something else. Okay, nice guy. Here we go. I don't know who created this tag. Now at the end, I removed the nice guy tag. And because he's now a client, I can do a handover and now create a parallel automation. Okay, this is some corporate stuff, guys. People go to school for this. So now
you're getting some good stuff.
I'm adding a tag here, and the tag, I can call it, client. And the moment the person gets that tag, Vbout starts another sequence, which could be an additional nurture campaign specifically to customers.
Oh, sends them down the client campaign.
So adding a tag here now, in a sense, is triggering a completely different workflow on the bottom. Okay.
Can I have all that in? Is this one automation? I can still have the custom event and all that in this same automation?
Yeah, you can. I usually like to group things in the context of what it does.
Yeah. So this is an entry. This is an entry automation, obviously, but you're just showing me. Okay, I got it. I just was wondering.
You can go all out, build like 5-6 workflows. So we call this workflows. Let me just pick up my Picasso tools here. So this is a workflow. Okay. This is a workflow, and I can keep on adding multiple. Now this entire canvas is an automation that has two workflows. Okay.
Got it.
Sometimes workflows talk to each other. I can link this with here too. You can keep them independent. Now you have to just, be careful. Sometimes people build too many things in the same automation.
And they don't know if it's broke, they don't know where it's broke because there's so much stuff.
Or things get kicked out from one sequence, it might affect the other. So keep it clean, keep it simple. All right.
Don't ask me how I know.
Everybody makes those mistakes.
Trying to be fancy. I'm like, where did this break down? People calling you, hey, I didn't get this. I'm like, why did they not get that? This is good stuff.
Awesome. Let's dive into the second phase. I don't want to take too much time on the second one is a guided onboarding. Okay. Now we're in the nurture phase, guys. Assuming the person came in, they're getting these awesome emails, and they actually showed interest. Maybe they signed up to the product before they signed up to the blog, but now they signed up to your service. They requested a quote. Perhaps they created an account to feed your SaaS product. Now, what we can do is deploy the nurture processes, guided onboarding. I love it. Everybody should do it. If you're a SaaS, if you're a service company, you should have welcome sequence emails for newbies. So I don't know if you heard, but the R funnel, the activation, and then you have the retention, the referral. I forgot the names, man. Too many funnels. But part of getting somebody who is trialing your service or your product to get hooked is to continue the guided onboarding process. Okay. Now, it looks very similar to this. The only difference that's going to be taking place is what triggers this automation. Okay. So let's keep it simple. I can create a tag on a profile. We work a lot with tags. Forget about everything else that I showed you before. And the custom event is the moment this person is a client, tag added. Now, obviously, there has to be maybe you personally going to the profile and adding the tag. Or perhaps it could be an API that once they convert on your own product, You send that tag to Vbout, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can send them a welcome email. A few days later, I can teach them how to use feature A. A few days later, feature B. So guided onboarding is really simple and important to have. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So again, guided onboarding, highly recommended. Okay. Any questions?
No, we're good.
Another one is retargeting from email. Now, retargeting is a huge field that's evolving a lot, especially since the death of the first party cookie. Is that right?
Yeah. So why don't you kind of give people, why don't you kind of give people like a 1 minute overview of that? And I know what it is. I'm just saying, let the audience know.
Yeah. So technically when you go to, let's say, Jenny Jones's website and you leave, you don't do anything. And then a few minutes later, you're going to, I don't know, CNN or Fox, whatever's your preference. And on the right side, Jenny's beautiful face shows up on the right. And Jenny talking about marketing. Click here to get my course or my product or whatever. So those ads on the right side, we call these retargeting. Now here's the caveat, is that a lot of times these retargeting are usually controlled by Facebook, Google, and their peers. Now, because last year, a lot of technologies stopped supporting third-party cookies, the best way to do it is for you to own the cookie and to send it to Facebook and friends. Okay.
So in 2021, because I don't know when people will see this. So in 2021, there was a big major change. And that was that a result of Apple? Did Apple change the game?
Apple always keep pushing the boundaries and Google follows, and yeah.
So when you say, so now they don't necessarily push the cookie forward anymore. Is that what's happening?
The technology is quite complex. I really don't want to confuse people.
Okay.
Third-party cookies are still somehow supported in browsers, but it's phasing out completely. I would think, not too far from today, they'll become obsolete. It's just servers sharing cookies amongst each other, not freshly baked cookies.
But tracking cookies. Like like my wife kept wondering, she says, honey, I go to Macy's and all of a sudden a coupon shows up in my email. I'm like, honey, that was a cookie. She's like, what?
You see? Well, she goes to Macy's website, but imagine you walk into Macy's and you buy something and they say, give me your email address so I can get you into my
my rewards program. Yeah.
Rewards program. Here's exactly what happens. Or what you can do. You can say the moment somebody joins my Macy's rewards program, I want to send this person to a retargeting ad on Facebook. Now, sometimes Facebook don't find that lead, understandably so. But I can have my own custom audiences set up with my own custom client lists. And I can add that new record that signed up to my loyalty to some sort of an ad that I've already configured on Facebook. You see what I mean?
Yeah. Then you're scrolling on Facebook, you're like, why does this keep coming up? That's because they're retargeting you. Yeah.
Yes. It's custom tailored. I mean, look, if you join somebody's rewards club, you're interested. Okay. So I think, serving people things they're interested in is a lot better than just cold targeting, in my opinion.
Right.
A lot of people would argue it's stalking. It's if you have a phone, forget about privacy.
At the end of the day. All right. So
you can do it through email too. If you sent out an email to a cold list and somebody opened the email, you can also add them to a retargeting campaign. Doesn't have to be filling out a form or joining a club.
That's what I wanted to figure out. Okay. So you can add them to retargeting lists from just opening up an email.
You can. So a lot to take in here. I'm giving you some golden nuggets. Companies spend tens of thousands of dollars to, pay consultants to do these things for them. So here we go. Just bring it forth to your community.
Nice.
Now there are some lead scoring automations, and I think we at this point I'll be a little bit faster. But when people reach a specific score, where the score is 1 to 100, 100 is perfect lead, 1 is not a good lead yet, I can do custom events that based on people reaching those lead statuses, we can fire out an automation as well. I can even assign it to the team. I can say, notify my team member. So this person can reach out. The salesperson on my team can reach out to that lead. We call these internal automations. You see, there's nothing front-facing the customer necessarily. Let me just remove this one. I'm doing things internally to organize the way my team is doing business. I love internal automations.
So, to put a bow on this, it's more of, if they have to get 100 points in once they came in through a lead form, they've done a certain amount of actions to earn their way up to 100 points, meaning that they've opened up at least 5 of my emails, right? They've clicked on at least 2 of my links. They are ready, or they have some type of interest. So they're warmed up enough for me to reach out and says, hey, we noticed this, or hey, we want to make sure you get, and then Black Friday's coming up, was just, hey, you just send it to them automatically, or so on and so forth. So they have to earn a certain amount of points interacting with your marketing message. Is that what it is? Okay. I just want to put it now. Okay.
Yeah. Lead scoring is very simple to set up in Vbout. It's included as well. So if you want to start lead scoring.
Wait, that's included too?
Yeah.
All right.
It's a very good feature. So that's the second phase. Now going to the third phase, which is, this is closing the lead. Right now, the lead, they found out a bit about you. They now got to try a little bit your service. Now you're closing that lead. So there are different phases. One of them is sales pipeline automation. Now, you said for Vbout as a CRM, we're not necessarily a CRM focused. We're marketing stack focused, but we have some CRM capabilities. Okay?
That's right. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, I knew that, but I don't know why I didn't say that. So
it's okay. CRM, we use it all the time as a term. So what I can do now is when someone is close to making a decision, and again, the trigger might vary. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create an internal task, which is like almost creating a deal in a CRM, a reminder for the team to follow up. Okay. Close deal. I can assign it to a team member, put this in a specific board, and put it in the decision phase. So now George or anyone else on the team will get notified. We'll get a task assigned to them. And every day they will log in and they will see their pipeline nicely filled with people they need to be targeting or following up with. Okay. Very simple. Honestly, the deployment is as simple as creating like a board, and it looks something like this. So now I log in every day. I see what's assigned to me, and I can just work my pipeline. That's pretty much it.
So you don't have any excuses. I don't have any leads. Man, your pipeline's full. Don't you remember those ads we ran and those landing pages we did and the push notifications? Well, they're all come down to here now. So, wow. Okay. This is some good stuff, man.
You just stop it and close it. This is a closed lead. Maybe it's not interested. I can update it. I can have multiple sales pipelines, one for each person, one for each process. Okay.
Wow.
Now you have e-commerce specific automations, which I really love. And another layer in Vbout, that if you're an e-commerce company, you can actually just set up and get it going. So in terms of e-commerce specific triggers, we have 2. One of them, if somebody completes an order. Actually, we have 3, sorry. One of them is that they abandon a cart. And I have a whole bunch based on behavior. So let me show you these things too. So completed order means they made a purchase, they went to the thank you page, they gave you the money. That's straightforward, right? Usually people send them a thank you email. Maybe a few days later, they send them a review request, maybe let's say 7 days. A few days later, maybe a couple of weeks later, they send them reminders for a refill if the product expires or it's a shampoo or something that needs replenishing. So you can create this whole sequence after someone completes an order on your shopping cart. Okay. You can also do abandoned cart flow. That means people added items to the cart and they stopped. They didn't purchase. You send them an email within an hour. You send them an email within a few in the next day, you want to salvage that cart. And it's proven that abandoned cart emails work if you do them right. And especially if you deploy them with SMS as well. If you're capturing people's information on the abandoned cart, you can send them a nudge via email and via SMS telling them, hey, here's a final coupon. Click here to redeem your cart. Perhaps you can get them to complete the purchase. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe they got there and says, I didn't know I wanted to spend $500. Maybe half of that you can SMS them back, and okay, I see. But a sale is a sale at that point because you almost had no sale.
Even if you salvage 5 to 10% of your abandoned carts, I mean, this is money you're leaving out on the table.
No, absolutely.
Okay. Cool. And then you have certain behaviors, like for instance, if the last order total was, let's say, over $200, then add a tag. Hey, that's a VIP client. We have probably about 40 e-commerce specific filters. Mm-hmm. You can see them all right here. If the last visited product is, if the last order expiry date, if you have expiration dates on products, like maybe you're doing filters for faucets that needs to be renewed every 6 months and there's an expiry date on the order. Mm-hmm. There's so much you can do here in terms of e-commerce. Okay. Mm-hmm. So okay. Yeah, this is on the closing. And finally, the renewal reminders. This is where you can actually, if you have an upcoming renewal, it doesn't matter what it is, your membership, there's a special trigger we have in Vbout. It's called specific dates. It runs every day or once, but renewals usually runs every day. It goes through a specific list of your contacts, and it checks for certain criteria. So maybe I'm going to do something like this. Expiration date is before exact number of days from today. So if the expiration date is 3 days from now, I'm going to go ahead and fire out an email. That's a reminder. Okay. Mm-hmm. It could be expiration of a product, an upcoming membership renewal. It could be an anniversary. It could be birthday welcome birthday card coupon. You can use this with pretty much everything. Okay. How are we doing, Jenny? I have one more. I will have time to cover one more.
Yeah, no, let's go ahead and finish it out. Let's try to finish up here. Yeah, that's good. We're good.
Sure. Finally, is the retention. I already did the birthday automation, sort of. If you're collecting your customer's birthday, you use the date trigger repeating, checks the date of every person, and you can set it up maybe 7 days prior. You send them, hey, you come to us, and you get a free dessert, free coupon for our e-commerce. So you can use that. Mm-hmm. Okay. You have lifetime value. I think I discussed this. If you're capturing how much your customers are spending on aggregate, you can fire out an automation based on if they reach $500, $1,000, depending on your price. And that could be a trigger to send them, obviously, a special coupon.
Turn them into a VIP, get on the VIP tag too, right?
Yeah, you like the VIP.
I like that. I like the VIP tag, man. That's what some of my listeners are going to get. They're going to get into the VIP. The ones that are joining now, they're going to be getting some good stuff. So, all right.
Last one is what we call sunset policy. This is probably something internal you should consider at your company. You can check every day for a specific customer list and look for engagement data. If somebody never engaged, you can put them in a suppression list. You can add a tag that says inactive. And you can even do once a year cleanup and send an email to those who never opened any emails. You don't want to be sending the same exact list all the time, the campaigns. You want to be able to define your active email subscribers from the dormant.
Right.
Very important. So this is why we create sunset policies and we let automations run it. And I'll give you a quick example before we wrap up. Hey, John, you haven't opened any emails in the last 60 days or 100 days. I've included a link in the email. If you're interested in getting more, click on it. And I wait 3 days, right? You want to give people enough time to, if they do not click on that link, then I'll send them another email. You might want to do 3 just so, don't miss out. So I would say not click, I'm adding conditions. I did landing page. And by the way, guys, don't worry about memorizing all that stuff. We have a lot of tutorials on this. You send them email number 2, and maybe a week later, you send them the final reminder saying, hey, this is our last chance. Really would love to have you. If you're interested, click here. And if they don't, you add them to a suppression list. That's another option. Okay.
Nice. This is some good stuff. This is, I think that's it, right?
That's it. I can go on forever, but
no, I know you can go on because I know this Richard is he is a marketing guru. I learned a lot from him. Do you want to put out some of your channels or some of I think you guys do a weekly or monthly link up, or do you want to put any of that out so that people know or
yeah, look, join our Facebook group.
Okay.
We have a lot that we cover on an ongoing basis. Very relevant information, analysis of funnels, events, and we are really like whatever we learn, we want to pass it on to you. Whether you buy Vbout or not, honestly, I don't care. I want you to find success in your marketing, whatever that is. Some people do things manually and it works for them. Thumbs up to you. If my knowledge got you to that point, I'm happy. If you use Vbout, you support us, we support you back, we grow the community and the ecosystem. So this is our group, heavily invested in it. You can get first dibs on latest content, and I'll put in the link. It's join Vbout. So facebook.com/group/join Vbout. And that's about it. You can get courses, you can get.
And I'll put that in the description as well. Along with, there should be a link from there from me, allowing you an opportunity to be able to become a, now how many days is the sign up? I mean, don't they get a window to test it out? How long is that?
We have 14 days free trial.
So 14-day free trial, yeah.
To use Vbout. If you become a customer, you get your hands on our courses, and we have a whole bunch of courses ready and available. Lead gen course and market automation masterclass.
If you're a geek, this course, it is a wealth of information. So you guys should be able to have an opportunity. I'm glad you guys stopped by today. And I'm glad that Mr. Richard joined us here today. He's a busy guy, right? And I'm just glad he was able to spend some time with my viewers and my listeners to the Digital Growth Hacks Club. Richard, do you have anything else you want to share? You have anything else you want to share? Now, I'm gonna give you guys a warning. Richard is a marketing mogul, right? I'm learning the best from him. I like to liken myself. I like to do a lot of marketing, digital media, stuff like that. But Richard is a marketing mogul. What did he?
Thank you, Jenny. I can't claim that I'm a guru or mogul. I think that title is deserved to some people in the industry. I think what I have really deep insights on is marketing technology and its application and impact on businesses, because I've done it thousands of times. Been building the product for 7 years. So that's where my knowledge lies. And I like to be, labeled as such. So I know how technology works. I know what makes a difference. We've done it. We failed with some businesses and succeeded heavily in many. And I'm happy to have you guys in our community or have you try our product. First, come with a strategy and a mindset, knowing that marketing automation and tools are part of any successful campaign. If you're not using tools, it's going to have a lot of hard time, and you're going to probably spend 5-6 times the necessary time you have throughout the day. And not to mention, companies are increasingly investing in marketing automation. So 23% of the marketing spend is on technology. But we made Vbout so affordable, simple to use. We have an amazing knowledge base, amazing support. great feature set, which I showed you before, academy, learning, monthly meetings. So we've got you covered. Again, I'd love to have you. And thank you, Jenny, for having me on this event.
No, thank you for joining us here. This was wonderful. This was wonderful. I have learned so much from you. My business has grown so much from being a part of your community and learning, and then you have your shows you guys do. And one thing I can say, and I'll let you know this as we kind of close out, you guys invest in your people to be successful. There's not a lot of founders that do that. A lot of different companies, they're like, you're on your own. You guys are investing heavily in the people that's within your community and using your product. So I appreciate that. Listen, it's been a pleasure to connect with you, to have you find time in your busy schedule to come join me today here on the Digital Growth Hacks Club. Listen, I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is some good stuff. This is what I call a full meatball sandwich. You learn a lot of stuff. And here's the thing. We only learned maybe 5% of what he knows when it comes to this. But if you get involved in the community, you're going to learn a lot more stuff. Again, there's going to be a link in the description below that you can utilize my affiliate link to help me continue to bring him back and to do other stuff to kind of grow the community where I'm going and try to help you grow your business as well. Again, this has been Jenny Jones. You guys take care. Be safe out there. Until next time, goodbye for now.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us here on the Digital Growth Hack Club, where we help you elevate your business and your bottom line. Please do not forget to subscribe and share. And until next time, goodbye for now.